Hi, today we're talking about number lines. Your objective is to use number lines and to use number lines to show a math story. So first, let's talk about some tips and rules for using number lines. First off, do number lines need to start at 0? No, they don't. A number line could start at 15 and you could count by 5s. Or a number line could start at a negative number, such as -2, and you could skip count by 2s. So that also answers our second question. Do you need to count by 1s on a number line? Nope. You sure don't. Do number lines need to show positive numbers? A thermometer is a type of number line, and the thermometer has a 0 right around the middle, because very often, depending on where you are, the temperature might be below 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below 0 degrees Celsius. So no, you do not need to start at 0, you do not need to count by 1s, and you do not need to only show positive numbers on a number line. Number lines can be used to illustrate a story. In this story, every year, my family gives me $20 on my birthday. So maybe I started with $0 in my account, or maybe I started with $100 in my account. Then on my next birthday, I get $20. So now I have $120. The following year, I get another $20 on my birthday, and now I have $140. The next year, I get another $20, and so how much do I have now? $160. Since my family is giving me money, I know that my number is going to be increasing. That means that I'm going to be adding. That also means that on my number line, I'm going to be moving to the right. In this story, I'm taking a road trip with my mom. Each day, we will travel about 200 miles. So that means at the beginning, we start off with 0 miles. Then I'm going to be traveling, so we're adding our miles, which means we're adding 200 miles. So I will have 200 miles, and then I will add another 200 miles to get 400, and so my pattern will continue. Once again, since we're adding up miles, our numbers are increasing, which means we are going to the right. In this story, I'm digging to make my own cave at the top of a hill. I started 15 feet high. I dig 3 feet into the ground each day. So to illustrate this a little bit more, I have a hill, and this is where I'm starting to dig. That means that this height was 15 feet, and I'm going to continue to dig and dig and dig until I get as deep as I need. So that means since I'm digging, I'm going down. I'm actually decreasing this time, which means that on my number line, I need to go to the left to show that I am decreasing. I started at 15 feet high, so I can put 15 as my beginning number. I'm digging 3 feet into the ground each day, so that means each day I'm subtracting 3 feet from my height. So the following day, I'm starting at 12 feet high. I'm going to take away another 3 feet, so the next day I'll be at 9 feet high. My pattern can continue like this. My pattern can keep going, and I can keep digging away 3 feet, even until I get to 3 feet below sea level, I guess. 3 feet below 0, which would be -3. This story is very real to me right now. In this story, winter is coming. The temperature is dropping by 10 degrees each week. Hopefully the temperature doesn't drop that quickly. However, once again, since my temperature is dropping, that means that I'm going to be decreasing. So I'm traveling to the left on my number line. I'm subtracting. We'll say that we started with a lovely temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. However, if my temperature is dropping by 10 degrees, I'm subtracting 10, which means the following week, my temperature would be 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the week after that, my temperature would be 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And then my temperature would keep dropping as winter got colder and colder. How else can you use number lines in math? You can use number lines in math to compare. If this is the number 100 and this is the number 200, if I need to compare two numbers, let's say I need to compare the numbers 140 and 160, I can look and see which number is higher on my number line. In this case, 160 is higher on my number line, so I know that 140 is less than 160, or I could say 160 is greater than 140. Another way you can use a number line is for rounding. If this is the number 10 and this is the number 20, and I have the number 14, and I need to know how to round 14 to the nearest 10, then what I'm going to do first is find out where 14 is on my number lines. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here it is. Here's 14. And now I can remember if my number is 5 or more, I'm going to go up. But if my number has a 4 in the ones place, then I'm going to go down. So I'll remember that 14 is going to go down to this 10. So if I'm rounding 14 to the nearest 10, my answer would be 10. I can also use a number line to round to the nearest 100. If I need to round the number 387 to the nearest 100, I know that my number line can start at 300 and go to 400. Each of these boxes is now counting by tens, so that's 300, 310, 320, 340, 30, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380. Oh, I'm getting closer, 380. That means this one is 390, so my number is somewhere in here. Now, I can already tell, since my number has an 8 in the tens place, that it's going to go up to this nearest 100. If my number had a 4 in the tens place, then my number would go down to the lower 100. So 387 to the nearest 100, that will round to be 400. I can use a number line to round to the nearest 1,000 also. If this is 8,000 and this is 9,000, then that can help me if I need to round the number 8,323 to the nearest 1,000. So let's see here. This time, since I'm rounding to the nearest 1,000, I'll be looking in the hundreds place, which means that I'm going to be counting by hundreds. So I have 8,000, I have 8,100, 8,200, 8,300, 8,400, 8,500. So here, where I have a 5 in the hundreds place is where I would round up to the next 1,000. However, since my number has a 3 in the hundreds place, that means it's going to be somewhere around here, which means that I'm going to round down to the lower 1,000. So 8,323 rounded to the nearest 1,000 is going to equal 8,000. What are some other ways that we can use number lines in math? I would love for you to let me know in a comment.